Get ready for trending news and entertainment. This is Daily Flash with your hosts, Andrea Jackson and Mitch English. The fun starts right now. This is Daily Flash.
Hi everyone, I'm Andrea Jackson.
I am Mitch English, and welcome to Daily Flash. Today's Trends, tomorrow's Talk. So glad to have you here. We are back as always. Working the floor is Sweet Baby James.
James.
Alexander. What's up, man?
I got a sweet word of the day.
Lay it on us.
Convivial.
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 Are you ready?
Yep.
Means relating to, occupied with, or fond of feasting, drinking, and good company.
All right. Well,
Okay,
we're
I like
hoping
it.
to have a convivial day today, and adding to that is Matt Doolittle.
We
To
have
my
a
right.
fantastic convivial website at dailyflashshow.com. On there, you can find all our socials. Make sure you share, like, subscribe, do all that fun stuff, and send us your convivial notes
Yeah,
at flash@dailyflashshow.com.
We love that.
Okay, have you ever thought about what happens to all of your digital assets, your pictures, your videos, your social media accounts after you die?
I have. I know that Facebook has a thing where it's called a memorial. You want to set it up, obviously, while you're alive, where
Yes.
you hand it down to somebody. Hopefully, they will take care of it. But eventually, it's not, it's finite, right? I mean, it's eventually going to go away somewhere.
But think about, like,
Yeah, it's
for
alive.
instance, for you, like your digital videos, pictures. If you're a photographer and you make money off of all of your
okay, yeah.
pictures, what about your pictures on Facebook and Instagram? What happens to all of those things? And they're
never thought
considered
about it.
digital assets. Well, think about all the videos that you've posted, from projects and shows and
Sure.
segments that you've done. I mean, so what happens to that once you pass away? Who's going to be in charge of it? Who will profit off of it? Yes, Facebook does have like the legacy contact.
Legacy, that's the name of it.
They have a legacy contact, but they also have a couple of ways you can set your page up. One is like an in memoriam page, and then you could also ascribe somebody to be in charge of your page after you pass, so they can continue to post on your page, even though it's an in memoriam page.
Or even basically approve things. Like if
Yes.
somebody else, like if you wanted to post something. I had to go through this with my son. So yeah.
So experts say if you're you should do this. You should think about it as putting it into your will. And there are a couple of things that you should think about. You should always have a digital legacy contact for each social media account. TikTok, Facebook, Instagram. Believe it or not, Instagram is the hardest one to actually ascribe a legacy contact to. And to me, like, that's where all the visual images and
That's
videos
all
are.
it's about, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So even though it's under the metaverse, it's one of the more difficult ones to assign a legacy contact to. What exactly are digital assets? Well, it's anything cloud storage, photos, documents, your digital locker, your password locker, emails, your computer, your mobile phones. All of those things fall under your digital legacy. And then you've got to make sure that you denote who is your legacy contact for each of those. And they also say, keep your passwords somewhere, because if you pass away, you should have those somewhere. Don't put them in a will, because if they make your will public in like a probate, then everybody will have access to your password. So it's very tricky. It's kind of this weird fine line that you've got to make sure that you're prepared for it, but you've also got to provide the information somewhere, somehow.
It's a sign of the times,
Yeah.
number one, because if you think of it, you named it, your assets, your digital assets.
Yes.
You consider digital, anything you have put on there as an asset, and make sure you have it. That's very, like I said, I know that there's an option. I've done it for Facebook. I didn't even think about the other ones, though,
Yeah.
and I would imagine that your spouse you think, well, she'll figure it out. No. Or he or whatever will figure it out. And that's not necessarily
If
the
they
case.
don't have passwords to your computer and they don't have passwords to your passwords, I mean, there's no way for them to actually get through and do all of these things.
I had to go through this with my dad. He
did?
was First of all, you couldn't read his handwriting. So anything he did have put down as his passwords, but we couldn't get into anything. And there's still stuff out there that we're dealing with to this day where we just couldn't get access to it.
So keep that in mind.
Yeah, TikTok, Facebook, Snapchat, Instagram,
Your phone.
Anything on
Think of your
anything
phone
on your
alone.
phone, anything in your email, anything in your cloud storage. Google, they say, is the easiest one, because anything you store on Google, whether it's YouTube or Google Docs or whatever, they make it quite easy for you. But again, you have to have all that information and passwords available to whoever you're assigning.
I became an expert in school, looking over the shoulder of the person in front of me, and I'm looking at yours. I want one of those candles.
Oh.
I can't show you on there.
No. We can't show
Look
you.
at
You
that
can take a
candle.
look at it. Okay, I'll get that for your birthday.
Oh, yeah. Okay. I see
Which one is it?
My birthday.
This is your
I want a
birthday.
candle.
What are you looking at? What is in your search?
I don't know.
I'm on the economictimes.indiatimes.com.
Put that in my will. Put
I'll
that
put that in your will.
and
Yes.
never burn it.
You're really gonna put that on a computer around the three of us?
Yes,
Oh
right.
my God.
This is the reason why you don't show your screen because you never know what ads are going to pop up while you're talking.
It was an ad.
Wow.
Not looking at anything bad. It's an ad that popped up.
The person I least thought would ever search something
I
like
know,
that.
right? It's not though. It's part
It's so
of the,
weird. It's for a no
no
sugar challenge.
based on your age.
It's a movie with Antonio Banderas, and it has something similar to that.
To
Oh,
the
does it
candle.
really?
Yeah,
To the
but
candle?
the candle is like the 13th. It's called the 13th Warrior. I want to say
All right.
it's 13th Warrior.
We'll let folks Google that, but I want one. I never burn it.
If you search an ad called "No Sugar Challenge," you'll see what we're talking about.
Yeah, she got some sugar.
Look at that one.
You guys,
She's too thick,
They-
thick.
is that a Kim Kardashian?
Yeah, that's the. If you want a bigger candle, that's the bigger. All right, I'm moving out of
Oh,
all of
wow.
that.
Yes,
we go
please.
now to
We
South
just
Carolina.
derailed.
Cops there engage in a not so hot pursuit. They chased the tractor for more than an hour, all at the speed of a walk. Yeah, we got video. Check this out.
goodness.
Officers got a call about a burglary when they saw the excavator with speeds reaching 3 miles per hour. The chase went on for about an hour before the heavy machinery got stuck. 53-year-old driver tried to run, but followed by a drone until a police dog and a handler caught up with him. This is still faster than the OJ thing.
The white Bronco.
Say with a white Bronco. But you can imagine that. Like,
Wow.
Like, why? I guess maybe they thought he might have had a weapon or something like that because he was going at such a speed. They could have jumped out of the car and jumped on the trailer.
You could have walked next to it.
Yeah, you could walk next to it. Look how slow that is.
It's like a parade route.
Wow.
Yeah. A 6-year-old Florida boy who fell into a pool and started drowning was saved thanks to a stranger. Surveillance video shows the young boy arrive at the pool in Fort Lauderdale with an adult. He tries to jump onto a float but loses his balance and falls right into the pool. The adult begins screaming for help as the boy begins to sink to the bottom of the pool. A passerby heard the screams and ran to assist. He quickly takes his shoes off and dives right in. Police arrived to find the boy breathing and then carried him out to the paramedics.
So it ended in a great.
my.
Oh, look, you can see the mom just
Yeah.
kind of collapsing there. And you know, in Florida, if you have to have a fence around
Yes.
you had a pool, which this is the reason why stuff like this. But to see that and
Yeah.
wow, that would just freak me out altogether. So luckily though, people doing the right thing. You can see his
Yeah.
lifeless body being pulled out there.
Well, that's one of the biggest things we end up having here over the summertime is that kids end up in pools, and we hear about those stories all the time.
Yeah.
All right, Tom Cruise. Guess what? You need to stick to your stunts. The 60-year-old Mission Impossible star is now being roasted online for how he eats popcorn after a video of him indulging in the tasty treat made the rounds. Many are calling it Popcorn Gate. Now, in the video, watch this. Cruise is seen throwing the kernels in his mouth. The audience in the movie screening seemed to be actually more interested in his popcorn, eating habits and actually watching the movie. And which, by the way, we had this popcorn here the whole time. That's why I was coughing.
Yeah. Because you got the popcorn
should-
kernel
yeah.
caught in your throat.
So we thought maybe we can all.
Yeah.
Now, can we pop that video up again there,
Yeah.
Keegan? Okay, watch how he does this. While he's eating popcorn.
He's throwing it into his mouth.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, I do M&Ms this way. I don't like
Oh, you do?
popcorn. Yeah, like I'll eat M&Ms. Not all the time, but I mean, like, so it seems like it's almost like a nervous habit, I guess. But maybe you don't want your hands to touch your mouth. Not sure why he
Do
does it.
you
this way.
do one popcorn at a time or do you do a whole handful?
Oh, I do a handful.
I do a
I'm a
handful.
mess.
You
I'm
do
a
a
mess.
handful?
Well, the whole handful is more of like okay.
All
One of
right.
these.
Any of you guys have seen those movie screenings right on the floor in front of me? I leave a mess.
Do you really?
And it's not even on purpose.
You're the guy, right?
I'm the guy.
All right, so I mean, the way he's doing it, he stops about right here.
Yeah, but it's got good aim.
Oh, I got that one. Yeah, but to do it consistently,
I gotta do that.
okay, now I'm so.
Oh, you're good.
Oh, okay, now I can see it. Matt,
No,
try
Matt-
it.
Matt-
Can we get Matt? Can we get a shot of Matt doing it?
There you go, Matt.
Yeah, that, and you kind of look like
Let's
that.
go.
That's what I felt like Tom Cruise was looking like with Burt Reynolds in that thing. We're like,
yeah.
yeah.
Oh, I do real medical.
Did you?
I'm surprised he eats carbs, honestly, because Tom Cruise seems like he like
Is popcorn a carb? Isn't it his own food group?
the butter.
It is a carb. Will, it is carbs.
Do you guys want popcorn?
Pass the
Camera
popcorn
friends,
around.
Here you go.
I'll let you guys, everybody at
Give it
home,
to the crew.
grab you some popcorn.
There you go.
Haven, would you care with
There you
you?
go.
Hang on. Let me
No
show
popcorn. She's not a
No
popcorn.
She's not a popcorn girl. Here you go.
Oh my gosh.
I think
There we go.
popcorn
One
can be a game changer for couples.
Almost. Go high.
Almost. Oh, but
There you go.
there
There
we
we go.
go. Very good. Very good. Let us know. What do you think about popcorn? How do you eat it? Is it one at a
Hey,
time?
you gotta
Full
use a fork.
handful?
Boom,
throw it
chicka
in?
pop.
I use
I love it.
Stay with us. We're back right after this.
I'm always a little bit scared to prep the butternut squash.
Yeah? Well, I've always found in life that tackling tough tasks gets easier with the right mindset.
That is a tongue twister.
That is a very much a tongue twister, especially with these American teeth. I'm surprised he didn't fall on the countertop.
Me too.
You know, when you got butternut squash, most people are scared of the hard, waxy skin. Use a peeler. Don't use a knife. And then use your ice cream scoop. Your ice cream scoop is perfectly cut to get the seeds out. You can see just how it's effortless. With a spoon, we're just going to be dragging and dragging and dragging. With an ice cream scoop, it comes out effortless. And that's how you prepare squash. That's how easy it is. Please feel free. With the right mindset, you can do anything in the kitchen and have fun with the music on and have a dance.
I love that. See you soon.
While most of us think of loneliness as something to avoid, our next guest, clinical psychologist Dr. Judith Zaxon, says a little well-planned solitude may be the secret ingredient to success. She joins us now to talk about it. Hi, Doctor. Welcome to Daily Flash.
Hi, thank you for having me.
So let's talk about this. How can solitude help us be successful?
Solitude is the catalyst for creativity. Some people see solitude, loneliness as a negative thing, but it's actually quite the opposite. Solitude allows the mind to be reflective rather than reactive. It creates a curiosity. You can listen to your intuition, and your mind is slowed down, and it allows for the creative juices to really flow. You're almost in that Zen flow state where everything gets blocked out.
So why do you think our best ideas often come in the shower or maybe even during a quiet walk alone?
Because we're not thinking of many things. These little things, multitasking, is almost the opposite of creativity. Because when you're alone in the warm shower, the warm water, it drowns everything out. And you don't have to be on. You can just be you, and you can go inside of yourself and just be free. And this allows you to make connections, think reflectively, and it allows you to really come up with great ideas. I would even argue that loneliness, being alone, that's a very good thing. Think of the greatest creators. Think of Einstein, think of Steve Jobs. They all valued being alone because that's what helped them think of those things that changed our world today.
And you mentioned being on. How does always being on and being socially connected drain our decision-making power?
When you're always on, your mind keeps censoring, your mind keeps thinking, how do I make my best impression? What do I say? What's politically correct? But and then thinking of your iPad and your iPhone, and that I have to answer everyone. That's being in this reactive mode. It's extremely hard to think, let alone creativity.
Dr. Zaxon, thank you so much. Great information. And for more information, please visit GreenwichPsychology.com. We'll share this information and this interview on our website as well.
I got to tell you, this kind of goes along a little bit of what we were talking about earlier in the show about kid rotting. And I mean, she hit it right on the spot, talking to us as adults, but kids are like that as well. When we have those moments when we're separated from things like that, it really brings and honors basically our memory to be able to go and get those creative ideas.
I find oftentimes when I'm out for a dog walk, I like to listen to a podcast or something, but when I don't, it is interesting how much you can brainstorm just by being in that environment and sort of being quiet and in nature. You're walking the dogs, different ideas come to you, different thoughts. And I try and remember stuff, and if I don't write it down or message it to my phone, because you do come up with some great ideas.
I can tell you right here and now, that's why I love traveling. Sometimes I found myself where I'm not listening to the radio or anything, and it's my think tank, if you will, as you're driving.
Oh, that's a great way to put it.
And I've come up with some of the best ideas. The problem is like what you said, because you come up with those ideas, you're like, oh, I want to write that down because that's the best way to remember something like that. Or grab your phone and make a message. And then by the time I get to my destination, what was I talking about when I was talking about peanut butter and eggs or whatever, But then it can also allow my creativity to come back together. It's like what I'm doing, and maybe initially what I was thinking about talking about or wanting to do is opposite. Because
did you ever do journaling?
I did, but for a while, when I was in my late teens, early 20s.
There was a book called The Artist's Way that I did for a while, and when I was living in Los Angeles, and it creates this kind of journal environment for you, and it's really good. You really do tap into a lot of ideas you don't think you would have.
By actually writing it down. It's good stuff. More Flash coming up. We're doing Screen Chatter when we return.
Hey, Mitchie.
Hey, Jackson.
Yeah, I want to talk about that big story coming out of Hollywood.
Hold on. Wait. I want to get Matt in on this call, all right? Hold on.
Hey, what's up, Mitch and Dias?
Matty!
Mitchie.
Mateus.
Mitch, my man.
Matty of Berkshire.
What's going on?
Hey, AJ wants us to talk about a big story that's happening.
This kid, the Kiki, says hi. He has his own Instagram.
That's great, Matt, but I really want to talk about this big story coming out of Hollywood.
Ooh, dog and cat, it's
You should check it out. This kid, the Kiki.
I want to know what's going on.
What?
Oh, okay, so real quick. Why does he still have a dial-up modem?
Hey, I gotta get back to wrestling stuff.
It's on the music.
You know what? Maybe we should just try this later.
Okay, all right. Peace and love.
Daily Flash.
Where are you?
It's just better when you're part of the conversation. Join us online.
Hey, welcome back to Daily Flash. I'm Mitch English. It is Thursday. That means it's time to check in with Tony Toscano to find out what's coming out of Hollywood and straight to your screen, no matter what size you're going to watch it on. With the latest, here's Tony.
Thanks, Mitch. Streaming on Prime is the psychological thriller We Were Liars.
We live, at least in the summer, on Beachwood Island.
I know your marks, your every line.
We were happy. We wanted for nothing.
I just hope we don't run out of time.
But something terrible happened last summer, and I have no memory of what or who hurt me.
Based on the best-selling novel, the new series focuses on a 17-year-old girl who can't remember the horrible accident she survived at her family's summer home 2 years earlier.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of themes that the show is toying with, and I hope that one of the big ones is that if you find yourself in a slightly toxic or very toxic family culture, where you feel like you have to compromise who you are or your beliefs or a relationship you really want to stay a part of that family culture, I hope you will think twice.
That's everything that Caitlin just said, and money might fix a lot of things, but it does not buy you happiness.
We Were Liars is a top-notch young adult mystery thriller with some terrific twists and turns. Again, you can check it out streaming on Prime Video. It gets a B and is not rated. Streaming on HBO Max is the action crime thriller Duster.
How do you feel about violence? I'd be lying if I said the work I do doesn't go upside down sometimes. If that were to occur, what would you think?
Where are we going?
Set in the 1970s Southwest, the life of a gutsy getaway driver for a growing crime syndicate goes from bad to worse. I chatted with stars Josh Holloway and Rachel Hilson.
It's relevant dialogue, it's hilarious, it's funny, it's poignant, and these things need to seep in. It's done in such a receivable way. I think that the audience is still left with a sense of fun.
I think audiences will honestly feel a little catharsis watching this series. I think there are parallels to now, and I think it's a nice way to sort of take that in.
Duster is a fun, action-packed series reminiscent of 70s TV shows like The Rockford Files and Starsky and Hutch. Give this one a watch. Again, it's streaming on HBO Max and gets an A. It's rated TVMA. For the Daily Flash, I'm film critic Tony Toscano.
Thank you there, Tony. Well, welcome to Daily Digits. I'm Matt Doolittle. Well, your first digit this week is $170,000. Now, guys, get this. It's a life-size plush doll called Alububu has caused an auction frenzy. The quirky stuffed character sold for a record-breaking $170,000 at an auction in Asia. The 4-foot-tall mint green toy was one of 48 items sold from the collection, totaling more than $520,000.
Wow.
Now, if you're looking for a quirky snaggletooth tool, here in this States, I think you might be able to buy this beaver man known as Baba Booey's
Baba
dog.
Booey.
Baba Booey, Mama Monkey.
Baba Booey.
That's how Mitch and I find each other in a crowd. You get the joke if you're a Stern fan. So it's also up for auction, but it will only cost you some shrimp and chocolate. Baba
There it
Booey.
is.
Baba Booey.
Baba
That was
Booey.
for you, Mitch.
Fa-fa-foo-hey.
That was for you, Mitch, alone. All right, your next number today is 4.25 million. That's how much a personal collection of scripts, props, and memorabilia sold for the auction from the collection of the late director David Lynch. Highlights from the sale include scripts from the unfinished film Ronnie Rocket, his iconic red leather director's jacket, and his espresso machine reflecting the filmmaker's famed love of coffee. Now, on a good note, my wife has a tattoo on her wrist from him that they did not take collection from.
Is that right?
Well, you know, it was a big Twin Peaks thing.
Twin Peaks,
like Twin Peaks. If you ever try to watch that show,
The new one or the old one?
both of them.
They did a movie.
None of it makes any sense. And
No.
she has tried to force me to watch it so many times, and I'm like, I don't understand. I'm gonna go get a Darkwing Duck tattoo, and it'll make as much sense as the one she has on her wrist. So it makes no sense.
I love Twin Peaks. I love if you sit down and go, all right, it's not going to make any sense. There's a lady that walks around with a log.
And she talks to the log.
And knocks her log, and they
Yes.
never explain it.
There's
But-
a small man that dances in a red room. That's what my wife's tattoo is.
And if you want to know about David Lynch, obviously Twin Peaks, but also on the Cleveland show, you know, the cartoon
Yeah.
stuff, he played himself as a
Did he
bartender,
really?
David Lynch. And he's just this weird guy, but very creative and just made you think differently
And
about
every actor that worked with him loved him.
Yes.
Yeah.
They had nothing but good things to say.
Who killed Laura Palmer?
There you go.
Will
That's
we
the
ever
question.
know?
I don't know.
I don't think we will.
Figure it out. Some kind of force, mysterious force.
This is Daily Flash with your hosts, Andrea Jackson and Mitch English. Trending news and entertainment. This is Daily Flash.
Hi, everyone. I'm Mitch English.
And I'm Andrea Jackson. This is Daily Flash. Today's trends, tomorrow's talk. Welcome, everybody, to the show. We got to check in with Matt Doolittle as well. He's joining us this morning. Hey, Daddy.
Hello, we are seen all over the country, all over the world, quite frankly, with our streamers, our 219 markets across the country, and our friends on the American Forces Network. Now, today we are going to point out our friends in Chattanooga, Tennessee,
Yeah,
WOOT. Did you know Chattanooga is the birthplace of miniature golf?
No, really?
No.
Yeah.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, thank you,
nice.
Chattanooga.
I also know why I don't know. I know this, but it's also the home for the National Tow Truck Museum and Hall of Fame.
That is the most. Okay, you got a more random fact than I did.
I was driving through there one time with a friend. It's for tow trucks. You can go there and see all the tow trucks and the Hall of Fame. And imagine, I got in the Hall of Fame. I told you.
Made it to regionals.
Made it to regionals. Cool place. Very sightseeing. You can go you just go off a little bit of the highway. You can see lots of nature in there. It's a really cool little place. And Moon Pie
Factory.
Very good.
Oh, wow.
All right, we're going to Chattanooga.
I've never been to Tennessee, but my grandmother was born in Tennessee.
Really?
Yeah.
You're the only 10 I see.
There you
Hey,
go.
ooh, I like that.
Most pancake houses you'll ever see in one state.
In Tennessee.
Is that so?
Well, according to us, right?
According to us,
you go to Gatlinburg, man.
Gatlinburg and Pigeon Forge, nothing but pancake houses.
Nothing but pancake houses.
Okay, it is summertime.
Yes.
Kids, if you're a parent and you get your kids at home and they're running around, you go, well, we got to make sure Junior has got lots of stuff to do. Let's put him in a camp. Let's put him in several different camps. Let's make sure that we go on vacation and everything. And now experts are coming out and say, you know what? Kids need to actually be bored. And so they had to give a name for it. It's called kid rotting.
Kid rotting.
Rotting. Now, it's
Okay.
not when, like I'm going through right now with my 13-year-old in his
Where he's just
armpits, where he
sitting-
smells like he's rotting.
I was going to say it's just sitting in his room playing video games.
Right.
Rotting away.
Okay, that's not the kind of rotting that they're saying. They're saying that kids need to be bored.
Yes.
And the reason being is that so much creativity comes out of being bored. If you think about that in your own personal life, you're thinking about something to do, you see something, and you're bored and you start seeing it in a different light. And psychologists say that boredom does really boost creativity. And there's more and more studies that say that kids need unstructured time. We're in an age where we're like, all right, we got to do this, got to do this, got to do this, got to do this. And that's okay.
Yeah.
But they're saying in that unscheduled timing where they just do nothing. And then if you have them at the house, my ex-wife when my kids were growing up, best idea in the world. If they ever come to you and say, Mom, I'm bored. Okay, there's some dishes in there.
Yeah.
You need to go in there. And she would give them, they would never do
You
that.
got time
after
to
a while.
lean, you got time to clean.
Absolutely.
That's
That's
it.
my dad would
Yeah.
say that all the time too. So what you need to do is you tell them to go outside.
Yes.
And be bored.
Yes.
And it will change everything. We have a pool. We're fortunate to have a pool. And Enzo will go out and make boats out of cardboard box. And I don't care if he lets them sink to the bottom.
That's
He's doing
fantastic.
something.
Doing something.
Somebody threw away one of those little tykes, those red and yellow
Bikes, yes.
the little toddlers do. He saw one, picked it up, and he goes, I'm going to put a motor in it. And I'm like, okay, sure you are. And he painted it all purple and stuff like that. And I did not care. He could have got paint all over the driveway. He was doing something.
Yes. Yeah.
And that's where that creativity
Right.
comes
He
from.
wasn't on his phone. He was actually doing something, using his brain, thinking, connecting with creativity. And I think that's the problem with kids, because they're so addicted to
that,
these
right.
screens that if you take them away, for a couple of days, they might have some withdrawal symptoms. But then I think that's when the creativity starts to kick in, because they're starting to make believe and create scenarios and come up with games and just do different things.
Experts also say, even as adults, if you're working on a big project, to walk away from it and be bored somewhere, because you're away from it, you're not seeing it, and it activates things in your mind to think differently. You might look at a car and realize, I'm doing some work in the back here right now, and I might look at a car and I might spark an idea that I could translate into it. So if your kids are bored, let them be bored.
Yes.
It's very important to do so. Kid riding is a good thing
Good
sometimes.
for
And not starting fires. Yes, keep away from the fires. Speaking of traveling, we're going to do some flash travel where you can save money during the summer. Coming up. It's time for some air, land, and sea. It's time for flash travel. Summer is here, and so are those sky-high prices on flights, hotels, and even gas. But before you take out a second mortgage just to visit the beach, hold up. This is flash travel, and we've got 5 smart ways to save money this summer without skimping on the fun. First tip, check this out. You'll want to book on a Tuesday, but yet fly on a Wednesday. Airfare prices are kind of like mood swings. They're unpredictable, they're dramatic, but there's a sweet spot. Tuesdays around 3 p.m. Eastern is when airlines often drop fares. And if you can fly on a Wednesday or a Saturday, bam, you're looking at the cheapest days to travel. So there's one way. Your second tip today, it signs up for deal alerts. Stop letting that FOMO hit your wallet. Sites like Google Flights, Scott's Cheap Flights, and Hopper will actually send you alerts when prices drop on routes that you want. It's kind of like a little nerdy travel agent living in your email, but hey, it is for free. Your next tip today, think beyond hotels. Now listen, hotels are nice, but they're also nice at emptying out your bank account. So try short-term rentals, hostels, yeah, even grown-up versions exist, or even university housing. Schools rent out empty dorms during the summer. Didn't know that until I found out and did some research. Also, you could stay with a family, but only if you're ready to deal with judgmental aunts and a futon from 1992. Your fourth tip for today, skip the rental car. Listen, car rentals basically are just like acting out like you're renting a Lamborghini, right? So instead, use rideshare apps, scooters, public transit, or just look for hotels that offer those free shuttles to big spots. Some cities even have tourist passes that include transportation. Boom, look at you. You're saving like a local. And finally, pack smart and avoid the fees. Now, this is where airlines really get you. And you hear about us talking about this all the time. We're talking about baggage fees. So what do you got to do? You got to pack light. Roll up your clothes. You wear the heaviest stuff on the plane. Besides, it gets cold on the plane. People forget that. And actually, a carry-on is what really counts. Travel hackers swear by personal item backpacks that sneak in extra space without costing you not even one dime at all. So listen, traveling this summer doesn't have to mean you got to melt down your credit card. If you use some of these flash travel tips, you can actually save big while still snapping up those Instagram-worthy moments. And hey, with all that money you save, you could buy yourself an extra souvenir. Or maybe just a good gelato, who knows? Hey, we'd love to travel the world with you. Why not join us by commenting on our Facebook page? It's real simple. Just look for Flash Travel TV on Facebook and leave your comment. An even faster way is just to go to flashtraveltv.com. It's going to take you directly there. We'd love to hear any and all of your suggestions on how you save money, especially when you get traveling. And is it cheaper in the summertime to maybe drive somewhere than it would be flying? What about taking a train? Or maybe what about actually just a staycation at home? We love all those tips. And guess what? If you let us know by going to our website or flashtraveltv.com, we can share those online as well. So stick around. We are going to be back with more Daily Flash. You don't want to go anywhere. And of course, we'll have our website waiting for you at dailyflashshow.com. Head there anytime that you like. Our show's there. You can see full episodes and so much more. We'll be back right after this.
KSA Entertainment is dedicated to uplifting the communities we serve. Through KSA Cares, we're bringing awareness to the causes that matter most, supporting those who work tirelessly to make a difference. From honoring veterans to championing environmental responsibility, KSA Cares is committed to inspiring positive change. At KSA Entertainment, we're here for the stories that bring us closer. Innovate with us. We can make a difference.
Well, it looks like those summer days, they're here, and here with tips on how to protect our pets from summertime safety hazards. We've got Dr. Alexandria Meyer from VCA Woodbridge Animal Hospital. Doctor, thank you for joining us. Tell us first, what are some of the biggest threats that our pets may actually face in the summertime?
Right now, we are all in the midst of a heat wave. Heat is a big one. This can definitely cause some dangers to our pets, but also grills, fire pits, even the food that we enjoy this summer can cause potential hazards if we're not careful.
And is there a way that we can actually keep our pets protected from the fire, maybe the hot coals from those barbecues and those fire pits you were talking about?
Avoidance is definitely the best solution. If you can keep your pet inside when you're grilling, when there's a fire pit, that way they're not exposed to the coals, to the embers, even the food that's on there. So keep your pet inside when you're grilling or when that fire is active.
You know, that's something I never thought about having to do, but it makes complete sense. We have a swimming pool. Lots of families do. We're out there using it. What about safety around the swimming pools and our pets?
Even the strongest swimmer can become tired and can drown. So we do need to always supervise our dogs. Also, teaching your dog where those safe parts of the pool are. If you have a step, if you have a shallow area, teach your dog that that's the place to be if they do get stuck. But again, supervision and keeping an eye on your dog is the best way to make sure something bad doesn't happen.
Absolutely. And keep in mind, they don't wear shoes, so it can get really hot when they walk around and you take them on a dog walk. Where can folks go if you want to find out more information on this and other great pet safety information?
BCA has a summer hazard handbook online at www.bca.com. You can also find your local veterinarian on that website under Find Care. You can put in your local zip code and it'll pop up your closest BCA hospital.
Dr. Meyer, thank you for joining us. More details will be on our website at dailyflashshow.com.
Mitch, thank you. Some good advice there. Here's lifestyle and tech expert Stephanie Humphrey with her favorite tools to help you make the most of the summer season.
Summer's here, and it's the perfect time to make smarter choices with the right tech. Start with the Mudita Compact, a minimalist mobile phone that helps you unplug. It features a distraction-free interface, e-ink screen, and offline tools so you can stay focused and present. Use code TV15 for 15% off. Affirm lets you pay over time with no late or hidden fees. Download the app or select Affirm at checkout at top retailers like Amazon and Samsung. Stay connected in your outdoor spaces with Eero Outdoor 7. It delivers Wi-Fi 7 speeds and coverage up to 15,000 square feet, powering security cameras, smart lights, Wi-Fi grills, and more. When it comes to summer messes, Narwhal has you covered. The Frio Z10 offers 15,000 Pascal suction and hands-free vacuuming and mopping. Or try the S20 Pro, which cleans in one fast pass. Shop Narwhal this Prime Day and enjoy up to 52% off all products. And follow me at TechLifeSteph for more tips.
Thank you, Stephanie. You know, caregiving sometimes comes with quiet sacrifices. There's a new study that reveals just how far those impacts reach. Here's more.
Millions of Americans are currently providing care to a loved one, and many plan to do so in the future. However, caregivers are facing lasting financial, emotional, and career impacts due to their roles with little support or resources. Edward Jones' Vanessa Okuraiwe has more.
A new study from Edward Jones has revealed that many caregivers are feeling financially strained. More than half say they've had to cut back on personal spending or dipped into their retirement savings to keep up.
Most caregivers say the emotional toll is equally significant. Stress, burnout, and a lack of personal time are common, and 2/3 admit they struggle to prioritize their own health while caring for others.
Caregivers are incredibly resilient, but they should not have to do this alone. The right tools, the right guidance, and workplace flexibility can make a big difference. It's time we treat caregiving as the essential role it is with the support it deserves.
For more, visit edwardjones.com/caregiving. That's edwardjones.com/caregiving.
Registered dietitian and mom Carissa Galloway is back sharing her hacks for flavorful family meals. Carissa, welcome back. This looks amazing.
I know, it's so delicious. And you know, I love foods that nourish our body, but they taste great. And it is a win if I can get them on my Target run. So check out everything I have here from Del Real Foods. They are now available at over 1,100 Targets nationwide. And now you can enjoy the bold, authentic flavors of Hispanic cooking right at home.
So tell me about some of the options here.
Okay, right. So you've got 5 great options from Del Real Foods. I love the barbacoa and the carnitas, great for an entree. Chicken fajita kit, you're getting that perfectly seasoned chicken and sauteed vegetables, so it comes together for a really balanced meal. And we've got the pupusas, which are really great in the air fryer for like an after-school snack.
Oh, great idea.
Everything here is made with these clean, simple ingredients. It's gluten-free. It's made just like your abuela would make it, so things that I feel good about serving my family.
These look fantastic. It's almost as if you're getting them at a restaurant. That's how good
they're
look.
Ready in minutes.
Yeah. Okay, for more information, you can get these meals. Head to Target or scan the QR code right there on your screen. Time for some trending stories now. A woman flying out of Shanghai was forced to scrub off her heavy makeup at an airport because the facial scanner could not recognize her face. The viral video shows the traveler cleaning her face with wipes while a person behind the camera, believed to be an airport worker, speaks with her, but she's not the only one whose passport photo didn't pass muster at an airport security gate. A model and influencer dubbed the perfect woman by Playboy Norway was recently detained for about 40 minutes by immigration officers after they failed to recognize her surgically enhanced face.
That is interesting. I always freak out when my my FaceTime doesn't recognize me, which it's been doing more lately. I don't know if I've changed that much.
It concerns me, like when you're looking at bank or credit card, on your apps, and it's like doesn't recognize your face. I'm like, okay, what's happening here?
And then you do it 2 or 3 times, and then you have to type in your password, which you've forgotten because now you're so used to looking at it. So.
And I find that the password collector doesn't share them on all, even though it's supposed to, but it doesn't always.
So keep that in mind. The convenience isn't always there.
That's true.
The latest trend in male grooming is something called eyelash trimming.
Don't do it.
Please don't.
Don't.
Some men say they are actually cutting their lashes for a more manly look. Videos trending on social media show barbers actually taking an electric razor to lash lines. It's always a risk putting something sharp near the eye, which could cause permanent damage. But shaving them off may actually be dangerous to your eye health. Eyelashes act as a buffer from dirt, dust, other debris. Eyelashes also protect your eyes from light rays and dryness as well. Why? I don't know. I mean, it's not like if you have long eyelashes, you're not manly. I've never associated the two out of that.
I don't understand this. I mean, women pay extra money to have eyelash extensions, and here we have guys shaving their eyelashes off. To me, I wouldn't want a razor up next to my eyeball.
No.
Could you imagine like a barber gets distracted and like turns and makes a sudden movement? Here goes your eyeball.
I can see eyebrows, which I'm at an age where I have to have them trimmed, but eyelashes, heck no.
Plus, like you said, it serves as a protection purpose from dust and other particles. You gotta have your eyelashes, people.
Keep that in mind.
On.
Don't blink. We got more Flash.
Welcome back to Daily Flash. Varsity Spirit is launching the first ever professional cheerleading league. It will give top athletes a chance to go pro with contracts and national exposure. Here's more.
Thanks for having us. Well, it's the perfect time to introduce the Pro Cheer League. Exciting news and the logical next step for cheerleading. From where we started in the early 70s, introducing the partner stunts, the pyramids, the basket tosses, to introducing cheerleading to television on ESPN in the early 80s, to the Olympic movement, on to stunt, which is now the fastest growing female sport in the country. The Pro Cheer League is the logical next step, and we're excited to offer this to all the elite athletes out there in America.
Pro Cheer is going to be like nothing you've ever seen before, taking the best of cheerleading in all different disciplines and the most elite athletes. So we are launching 4 teams for this inaugural season, and they will be in Miami, Atlanta, Dallas, and San Diego. And we'll have 5 events throughout the country starting in January of 2026. We're starting the season off in Indianapolis, then we'll head to Atlanta, Houston, Anaheim, and wrap up the season in Nashville, Tennessee at the end of March. This will be an unreal experience for both athletes and fans in the crowd and watching at home. We're going to have 3 rounds of competition. The 4 teams will go head-to-head in the first 2 rounds. Think high-flying stunts, basket tosses, incredible tumbling pass, spins, flips. I mean, you name it, they're going to do it there. A lot of excitement. And then we'll wrap up the 3rd round with more of a traditional routine like you've probably seen on ESPN. It'll be 2.5 to 3 minutes. You'll see some creative choreography and, of course, those elite skills. We'd love to tell you more. We will be making more announcements in the coming weeks, so make sure you're tuned in to ProCheerLeague.com and, of course, on social media at ProCheerLeague.
It's an incredible sport, and the athletics behind what these cheer teams do is incredible. And I just got done watching the 2nd season of America's Sweethearts about the Dallas Cowboy cheerleaders and what they go through to become a part of the DCC, as they call it. And then in this latest season, I should say, they talk all about their push for higher pay because they were getting paid very little per game.
Something like less than $100.
Yeah,
I think,
something like that.
But you're saying they get some kind of perks,
They get
right?
perks. They get promotional stuff, they get freebies, you name it, gym memberships, makeup, tanning. I mean, it's incredible. And on top of it, the social media influencer part of it that they get because of the cheerleading attachment.
That does it for our show. We're cheering that you'll be back tomorrow. Bye-bye, y'all.